So this is some stretches looking at the lower half of the body. These are good ones sort of for waking up the lower body in a fairly relaxed, slow way. So rather than a very dynamic stretch which is moving a lot faster, this is a much gentler way to just wake up and stretch each of these muscles. So these ones you can do individually if you've got a little bit of a sore spot, or you can just work the way through all of them if you just want to give everything a bit of a stretch. So take your time with them. If there's anything that doesn't work for you, feel free to skip it, modify it, whatever feels good for your body. So we're just going to start working on our feet. So I'm just coming up into a kneeling position here. I have my right foot forward, and all I'm going to do is lean forward so that I'm pressing into the ball of that foot. So you see that my knee is right over that alignment, so it's pushing straight down and giving it just a nice little wake up there. And then I gently roll it back as I bring my hips back. Hips roll forward, foot comes up and back. And one more. And back. I'm going to change legs. So again, nice and solid, knee over the ankle, roll it up and back and up and back and forward and back. This time I'm going to bring the foot forward just kind of underneath my hip, and I'm letting it sit on the top of my foot, so it's getting a nice stretch up the front and top of my foot there. So just gentle, you don't need to put a lot of pressure. You can release it whenever you want, and then come back in. One more time. And doing it on the other foot now, so foot pretty much just beside your other knee, roll the foot forward and back and forward and back and forward and back. Just coming onto the ground, and do a little shin stretch. So knees together, feet together. All we're going to do is try and keep our legs together as we bring our arms behind us for support. We're just going to push our hips forward and up. And what that's going to do is give you a nice stretch up the top here and on the inside of the hamstrings as well. So just wherever's comfortable. Don't have to push it particularly hard, as long as you can feel it. Whenever you need to come down and take a little bit of a break, reset, and then go back up again. And come back. And one more time. And back. We're going to bring one foot forward now. I'm going to let the other one come back, so we've got a bit of a wider gap here. It's not quite 90 degrees. And from here we can use our hands for balance, either on our legs or on the floor, just kneeling forward. So we're getting a bit of an opening in our hip flexors here. And you can come down lower if you need some support here. Or you can have your hands up on your knees, just wherever you're feeling stable. And from here, moving from this point, and this is where you might want your hands on the floor, we're going to roll back so that our toes come up and our heel stays on the floor. And we'll get a nice stretch up the hamstring here. And then in your own time, you can roll it forward. So again, opening up the hip flexor and roll it back. So we'll get a hamstring stretch. And one more time, just because it feels nice. And changing sides. So nicely planted on the ground, lean it forward, open up the hip. So trying to make sure our knee is driving in the same line as our toe, and it's not coming past our toe. And then gently roll it back to that hamstring stretch. You can go a bit lower if you want to, if that's more comfortable for you. Just make sure the toes are coming back so you're engaging that hamstring there. And coming back. And forward. You're likely going to find that one side is much better at this than the other. Normally it just means we have a tight hamstring on one side. And back. And forward again. Just coming back down onto the floor. What we're going to do is bring one foot in front and one foot behind. So heel of one foot in towards the groin, the heel of the other, trying to reach around towards your backside. And from here, what we're going to do is stretch our quad on this leg, on the back leg. We're going to do that by putting our hand behind us on the opposite side and just pushing up. And you should be getting a little bit of stretch here. You can push your hip forward a little bit more if you want to engage it more as well. So just a very gentle stretch here. Again, at any point you can come down and reset, and then just stretch back up into the position. And back, and one more time. And down we go. We'll swap the feet over. So now this is the leg that's going to get the workout. Again, make sure your heels are in position. Stabilize on that back hand. Push up. Again, if you need to, push out a little bit more with that hip to increase that stretch. And down. And up. And down. And last one. And down. We're going to give our hips and our hamstrings a little stretch. So I want you to bring both feet in front of you. Just come out into a split. Doesn't matter if it's here, here, here. As long as that's kind of the extent of where you can go, you can feel a bit of stretch starting up in here in the inside thighs. And you're trying to roll your knees and your toes backwards. So they're facing backwards. Pull your toes in towards you. Try and push your heels away, and again that'll help you with a bit of a hamstring stretch there. From this position, just put your hands gently on the floor. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth, and just see if you can walk your hands out a little bit further. So you're opening up these hip flexors again. If you can't, that's fine, just breathe into it. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Try and keep your back straight, pulling it in a nice long alignment. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just hold it there. Focus on your breathing. And gently walk your hands back in. From here, we're going to place one hand down near our knee. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't go all this way down. Just place it here for stability. And keeping our spine long and trying not to roll forward with our body. We're going to reach up with our left arm and stretch over to our right leg. So it doesn't matter if you're up here, as long as you've got a nice long line. The further down you go, the more of a stretch you'll get in that inside thigh as well. This is just an added bonus stretch. You can, if you want, bring the hand down, if that makes you feel more stable. And gently come back up. Reset the spine. Place your hand down for stability. Reach up with your right arm and slide down towards your left. Remember to keep pulling your toes back towards you. And gently come up. Keeping this position here, you can bring them a little bit more if you need to relax them. Just want you to focus on pointing your toes and then flexing them up. Pointing them toes all the way to toes curling over, and then pulling them all the way back up. Curl and up curl and flex, curl and flex, curl and flex. Just gently, because it's probably going to feel a little bit weird after that, gently bring your legs in, bring your feet together, so your knees are coming out to the side. Just going to sit in the butterfly for a bit, and it doesn't matter how far out your feet are, as long as this is kind of as far as you can comfortably push it. Grab onto your toes, and all you're going to do is think about pushing down your knees towards the floor. Depending on the length of your forearms, you can lean forward and use your arms on your calves or on your knees. My arms are a bit short to reach my knees. But all we're doing is just, as we breathe, focus on that pushing down with your knees pulling up through your spine. Just coming onto your back. So you're probably still feeling a little bit tight around the hips flexors. All we're going to do is bring our knees up to our chest. And all we're going to do from here is just roll our legs out and in. So I'll tap the back so you can see a little bit better there. So this is just helping to release those hips. And the other way. Bring them down, rolling back onto your front. And there you go. If you do want to add on a few little extra stretches for your hamstrings, what I suggest is you grab a towel or a resistance band. I'm just going to grab a resistance band here. And what you can do with these, you can either do this singly or both together. You can loop the resistance band around the feet and just use that to help pull your hamstrings back. Again, if you're not feeling you're getting enough out of that or it's not comfortable, you can do it with one leg. You can try raising that leg. That should give it a nice extension underneath there. Or alternatively, you can go onto your back and again use the band or the towel just to stretch out that position. So it really doesn't matter if you're down here or up here, as long as again you're reaching the full extent of your stretch and you can feel it in the back of the leg there. All right, well I hope your lower half's feeling a bit looser and a bit more comfortable, and I'll see you next time.